Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today. I have returned from my break and I'm ready to bring you lots of new decks, new videos for all of you. We have a new card which is Nebula. I wanted to make a fairly light deck to start things off. Nothing super groundbreaking or overpowered or anything like that, but I think this deck's actually quite playable and it utilizes all of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I had a big oopsie moment. I was running Ebony Maw instead of Rocket Raccoon in this deck, so with the gameplay, I've got Ebony Maw in the deck, and I just realized, oh my god, I'm missing one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm actually quite an ape, is what it is. I've now got Rocket Raccoon in there for the full thematic package. You can run Ebony Maw if you like. I was trying that, and it was quite interesting in this deck. But let's jump into the individual cards and go one by one and explain each. So we've got this Nebula card. This is really solid. So of course, +2 power when the opponent's not playing any cards in that location. This card works extremely well with Storm. That's one of the key synergies, locking that location off and stopping the opponent from denying the Nebula effect. It also works pretty nicely with the Guardians of the Galaxy because you can of course play those units into that Nebula location, counteracting, offsetting the ability of the opponent to play into the Nebula location, giving you extra on-reveal value that way. So we've got some nice synergies there. And of course, when you've stormed a location down, it makes your other Guardians of the Galaxy cards easier to get value from because there's only 2 spots where the opponent can play. So there's some great synergy there. So we've got Nebula, we've got Rocket Raccoon as an option for maybe turn 6 with Gamora, or, you can play it whenever. As I said, I just added it to the deck. I'm a fool. It is what it is. Next, we have Daredevil. So this card is nice with the Guardians. You could consider cutting this one. It's not absolutely necessary because you kind of already are able to predict where the opponent will go when there's only 2 locations available to play in. So Daredevil's not needed, but it can be, sometimes nice. Maybe you don't draw your Storm. Maybe things go a little awry in the game, and it's always nice having that extra information, of course. We have Star-Lord, so this is a key Guardian. He's probably one of the best ones after Gamora. You're able to slide that in with a Shang-Chi or something on the final turn. You can play it with the Nebula on turn 2, which is quite strong. You can play it maybe in the Storm location, preemptively. We have Armor. Armor is very important to protect our Nebula, of course. Oftentimes we want to go Nebula into Armor turn 2, and then on turn 3 we want to play this Storm. So Storm, we can lock down a location, of course, and have that Nebula just ticking infinitely up every turn, getting a nice 7 or so strength, maybe 5, 7, even 9 strength I think is possible with the Nebula theoretically. We've got Juggernaut in there as well as an option to win the Storm location. So we've got several tools to sort of very easily win that first location for free, essentially, which is really powerful. Juggernaut can also sometimes win you the game in the later stages just by preventing the opponent on turn 6 from playing a card where you want them to not be playing cards. We have Groot as well, so this can be synergized with that Juggernaut at the end of the game on turn 6, or just a pretty solid play maybe on turn 5 to slot in with a Star-Lord or something. I'm not super hot on Groot. It's probably the weakest of the Guardians in this deck, but you've kind of got to play it, right, for the lore-friendly factor. Otherwise, I would be running like a Maximus or a Killmonger maybe somehow, I don't know. I'd be switching the deck up in some way because of the Groot. We've got Shang-Chi, so this is a nice tech option to destroy things. You could consider running maybe an Enchantress or something, if that's more your cup of tea, especially after the recent buffs to Enchantress. She's quite a solid pick if you're if you're facing against those sort of Patriot decks, those ongoing power decks. You can definitely consider an Enchantress instead. I have Drax in the deck, and Gamora. Of course, we've got those higher cost Guardians, which are really actually quite powerful when you've stormed a location. I think it's deceptively, kind of underrated, these cards, how good they can be. Gamora, of course, 12 for 5 is just beyond unfair in many cases. And we have Doctor Doom to finish things out. Going to be really nice if the opponent contests the Storm location, but quite often we're not necessarily even going to want to play the Doctor Doom. We're going to prefer to go for those big, chunky, on-reveal Guardians of the Galaxy to finish out and win our second location. So that's the deck. It works very nicely, I think. Quite a fun deck to play, to navigate. and one that actually can be fairly competitive. If you guys are interested, by the way, in reaching infinite rank but are struggling to do so, let me know on my Discord. I have a Discord that you can message me on. It's in the description, and I can help you reach infinite rank if that's something you're interested in. If not, no worries. I thought I would shout that out because I have been getting some interest from individuals recently about that. So with that being said, let's jump into some games. Okay, first up going to be Luke's Bar. This is a decent location for the deck. Arguably snap worthy because we have Doctor Doom to get in there, and we have Storm in case we want to, change that up and just put units there normally. Of course, Ebony Maw, a card we can also consider playing here. I probably will want to go with the Storm, I think, in that left location, most likely. Although now that I've drawn Nebula, makes for an interesting proposition a little bit, doesn't it? I think I'll play Nebula in the right for now, and then probably not play the Ebony Maw. As I said already, I'm not 100% sure on this card. It's, in my testing, it's been kind of okay for the most part, but... Oh, this is interesting. I think I should probably get rid of TVA and go for a snap at this point. Seems like a pretty good opportunity to do that. We'll get Nebula going off pretty nicely here. Not going to get to play Ebony, but that's kind of okay. I'd at least ate the Iceman debuff here. And then, yeah, Nebula will be able to get some nice value, I should think. So we could go Juggernaut. I don't love it here because it can put units into Luke's Bar. I think Drax is probably the safe approach. We could go Groot if we don't want to sort of commit fully. I think it might be a little better. Then we can follow up with Drax in the middle if we don't find Gamora next turn. This should be enough, I hope, to win the right location anyway, so should be fine, right? And this is looking like some bot gameplay, of course. The classic. I could play Juggernaut and Star-Lord, but I think just Drax is better. We're even getting snapped on for some... Who knows why? Who bloody knows why? I mean, I guess they've got the... Nightcrawler, which kind of does something. But yeah, I think Doctor Doom will be sealing the deal here. It's a bit of a shame that my guys die on Warrior Fools, but not going to worry about that too much, okay? I mean, get a nice 5-point Nebula, not too shabby. And yeah, the deck functioned, albeit against a bot. Let's go to the next game. Okay, and here we go. Jotunheim. Not going to be wanting to play cards there, of course. The Daredevil got the armor. Probably we'll go for Daredevil here, I suppose, just to keep our eyes open. We're playing against Thanos. Some things never change, I suppose. I quite like Thanos. I still haven't unlocked him. He's been sitting in my token shop for like 2 months. So I need to pony up the tokens to afford him, which I do sort of plan on doing. Ebony Maw here is pretty interesting. I think I want to go with it. It's pretty efficient. And since it's a Baxter building game, I think we don't have to play anything else in there, just get the armor in Baxter building. Which isn't super good for me because of Shang, but I mean, I could play it in the right, but I sort of want to also maximize my potential in the middle. And on the bright side, perhaps their death or whatever will be a bit weaker. Let's go with Drax now. Perhaps a snap. I'm a little bit afraid of the Thanos and how many points they can sort of put out. How I might not be able to counter them with Shang. Nice variant, by the way. I got this variant pretty recently. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get some nice Drax value. Drax could very easily be like a, I don't know, a Crossbones or a Jessica Jones or something in this deck as well. It wouldn't be too much of a problem. This is a bit awkward because I don't really want to play Gamora in the left. I suppose I can maybe, but it's going to mean I don't have an amazing play. I guess I've always got Juggernaut Groot actually, which is pretty damn strong. I think it will probably be good enough to beat Dinosaur here, right? 6+, yeah, it should be fine. I think I snap here because, well, firstly it said Daredevil snap, which is pretty scary for the opponent to deal with. And secondly, we've just got that Juggernaut finisher, which I think is going to be good enough. Juggernaut's a really powerful card, honestly, a lot of the time. Kind of underrated, I think, in most decks, but when you've got Storm, it's just really good. Okay, nice little win there. Okay, we get a bit of a rematch. And we didn't show them the Storm. The Storm is obviously vulnerable to Reality Stone. If the opponent has that, it's going to be a little bit scary. Got Psylocke from the Daily Bugle. I don't think we care that much. That could mean that this is a Galactus deck from the opponent, which is sort of a bit spooky. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Nebula for the time being. Turn late, but we'll still get, 5 points of value, maybe, hopefully. Or maybe even more, I suppose. Never know what'll happen. Can you get more from this? It'll be turn 3, turn 4, 5, 6. I guess it could be 7, but that would require the opponent never playing into it. Storm? It's very vulnerable to Reality Stone is the problem, right? It might just have to be a retreat if we see that play come in, and if we don't, then we're in better shape, I suppose. We're in better shape. I mean, if they have the whatever you call it, Galactus, then we may be in trouble regardless of how this sort of goes down. Okay, interesting. Probably just Drax for now, I suppose. I really want to win this location. The opponent's also going to play Drax, okay, so we're seemingly ahead on the left for now. And now my Gamora becomes very, very decent. I sort of also want to play the Juggernaut, I want to give that a go, I think. It might be an angle here where we just play Juggernaut, hope that it moves to the middle. If it doesn't, we just say adios. Goodbye, my friend. And if it does, then that'd be nice. I kind of want to also play armor in the middle. It can hit Shang-Chi, which would be good. We could also just play Groot. Keep our options open. I could even actually play Psylocke here. Maybe Psylocke in the middle is correct. Groot in the right, keeping our options open, not playing Juggernaut, and then we can find Doctor Doom, and we can go with Gamora armor at the end, which should be quite powerful. I think I like it. Maybe have the option to find a Shang-Chi from the top deck as well. I really wanted to find a Doctor Doom here. That would have been super good for me. We can try it again. We could roll the dice, but yeah, maybe I should have just gone for the Juggernaut play in reality. It was sort of a bit unlikely that I find a good thing with the Quantum Tunnel. But yeah, tricky one. Tricky indeed. I guess I can go for the Shang here and try to hit the Gamora. I don't know. Don't really know what that does for me. Am I willing to stay in for the cube count that we've got currently? It doesn't seem very winnable. Yeah, I think I'm going to retreat, but the moral of the story, I probably had to take the Juggernaut attempt in this particular game. Okay, let's go with the retreat. We'll let the opponent get their cube. And another game against the same opponent. Well, I'm worried because now they know I have Storm. Definitely the counter exists to that with the Reality Stone. I think Thanos might still be one of the better decks in the meta. I'm not sure what the consensus exactly is, but I do think Thanos is looking pretty strong. We know they have a bunch of stones now, so the Storm becomes significantly weaker in some sense. I'll play Star-Lord middle. Hopefully they'll commit something more to the middle since it's a Xandar. Looks like they will. It's going to be Reality Stone, in fact. Okay, so our Storm at least is... Ooh, that is a good one. Okay. So already ahead in the middle in the Shuri's lab, quite effortlessly, I suppose. Murder World going to be a thing. We didn't have the early Nebula. I want to play my Storm. Maybe a Storm Juggernaut lane is looking good here. I think Storm Juggernaut right. I'm very tempted to snap here. I mean, we've got the Shuri's lab very much in our favor already, and we imagine they'll play in the left location here. So I'm going to go with a snap, I think. We'll also be safe from the likes of Galactus in a lot of cases if they are running that, which is possible. They got the Psylocke we've already seen. So I'm gonna... Oh, they're actually playing into the Storm location. Okay, that's pretty heads up. I suppose they want to kill units anyway, so perhaps for the opponent not a big issue at throwing some units over there. It's actually going to be quite good for us, though. I think that we do manage to... not worry about that. We can play Nebula in here just for a couple of extra points, I suppose. Is that even correct, or would we rather have her somewhere else? I suppose there's nothing really they can do to win the right location, so Nebula should come probably in the left location, maybe even in the middle location. I mean, this game should be pretty in our favor at this point. Ah, okay, they can go Galactus here, right? Because they've got 2 extra mana. So I should probably make the heads-up play of actually playing Juggernaut over here. I know it's a little bit strange. That allows me to also play Nebula on the right though. And this should stop any Galactus shenanigans from hitting us. Gotta be a little bit, use the brain a little bit here. But that should secure us the win, I think. Yeah, we deny the Galactus, very nice. And yeah, now we've got Doctor Doom. It's just very much a one game, I think. Should be looking good. I'll play Doctor Doom middle. I mean, do we even want to do that? That's sort of giving the game away that we've won a bit. Maybe we should play the Groot for now. Then again, they can play Killmonger, so perhaps we should just really maximize our value, since they can still kill the stones and play cards there. Dr. Octopus? Okay, that's really not going to cut it, I think. Even giving us a Shang-Chi. I mean, the deck is kind of functioning at the maximum power level at the moment. We still get 5 value from Nebula, by the way. What a card. Very, very solid. Okay. Probably not going to get a huge amount of cubes since it's a Galactus deck, but a win nonetheless. This guy is the only opponent I have. I'm just going to play him all day. Otherwise I face bots, right? So it's good that we're playing this. I should probably play in the big house with the Nebula. This is good. We need to protect it, otherwise Killmonger will, of course, eat her up. I probably could go with an early snap. We know their deck. We know that it's actually quite a good matchup for me in some sense. I can play Star-Lord into the Nebula location. There's synergy there. If the opponent doesn't play a card, we still get a buff, so it doesn't feel too bad. Probably want to storm this, although of course the Reality Stone threat is always very real. I could also just go Ebony Maw Savage Land, maybe. Ebony Maw's going to get Killmongered away though. I will play the Storm. I mean, the opponent's deck has a fair amount of counterplay to us, especially when I'm not drawing armor. So there is the Killmonger. We've got Drax follow-up. So all things considered, pretty even early game here, I would say. It's a bit annoying that I even have to commit the Drax. They're going to maybe get rid of the Flood, I suppose. I'm just playing Wave now. So I don't have much counterplay currently to the potential Galactus. The main counterplay is hoping that they don't have it, I think. Play just a Gamora on the right, I suppose, for now. If they have Galactus, we're going to have to retreat, I think. Looks like they probably don't have it, though, maybe? We'll see. Gonna be Null and Death being played now, okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. Do we win this game? That is the question. They might have a Shang-Chi that they want to play, in which case armor would stop that from happening. I don't really see how else the Null gets value. I suppose they could eat their death. Oh, that would be scary, wouldn't it? They could also just go ahead and play like a dinosaur or something fairly big in the right location. So we're in a bit of trouble here, I feel like. There's some really cheeky plays that they can make, which I can counteract with Juggernaut. But equally, yeah, I don't know. This play might be a Shang-Chi line. Should be a Shang-Chi play or a Carnage play, but it would lose to sort of vanilla value in the right. I think I will make this play because it's a little bit tricky of me. You know, it's less predictable for the opponent. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm not 100% sure on it though. Okay, this looks good. I mean, the problem is we're moving cards perhaps into this location, but okay, it was a Shang. We managed to counter that. Oh, Soulstone not quite enough. That was a little scary. But okay, we managed to get there with that cheeky Juggernaut. I'm pretty happy with that one. If there'd been a Carnage or something there in the middle, that would have also hurt me, but yeah. In the end, it worked out. Even if Soulstone went to the right, I think we're still fine in that case. So I was maybe a bit lucky they didn't have the Power Stone, I suppose, but would have been a win anyway. So okay, we're running it back. This matchmaking is just outrageous, man. This is part of the reason why I took a break from the game. It's like it's really hard for me to actually find a diverse range of opponents that are not bots. Something about the matchmaking changes for me on this account have really crippled my experience, shall we say. Superflow, okay, that's not great for me, obviously. I guess I could play Ebony Maw. I think I'll hold it for now. Maybe don't want to play that here. They're actually waving. That's problematic because I can't really play Juggernaut here to deny Galactus. The opponent's got extra mana while I don't. Of course, oh, squirrels stop the Galactus from working though. Should I just snap on that? It's actually quite a good development for me. I don't think I will because they do have a turn 3 play while I don't, which is a bit, you know, unfortunate for me. Okay, this is interesting. Doc Ock gonna be quite nasty. I'm gonna Juggernaut it away, which bricks their right location, okay? I mean, we have a lot of points in the left. In fact, more than they do in the right. Nebula's also got us some pretty slick value. Doctor Doom isn't gonna be so good. I don't think I can even contest the right location unless I draw Shang, so that needs to be considered. I guess I'll just play Groot middle for now. It's sort of the obvious location the opponent will go in. Just going to be a Carnage. I mean, I think we're looking pretty fine here. I just go with Gamora middle and then... I mean, do I? Do I even go Gamora middle? Like, it's actually really hard for me to win this location. I would have to draw the Shang-Chi 1 and 4. So, you know... Can they make the points over here? The correct play is probably to just Gamora in the right and threaten the win in that rightmost location. I think I snap on this as well. It's actually very threatening for me. Like, from my POV, I think we can force the retreat from the opponent, and we do get that through. Very nice. I'm going to skip turn 1 here with Elysium. We've got a different opponent this time. Thank the lords. Praise be. Storm on Shuri's Lab's kind of cool. I don't think I benefit that much from the lab. I mean, I kind of do with my Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think Storm Jug is just really, really strong here. Hopefully, it'll be enough to win. Maybe Storm Jug Star-Lord in the middle. I kind of hope they don't play in the Shuri's Lab now. They don't, okay. And I think Elysium's kind of okay for me. You know, I have a lot of higher mana cost cards, which... we'll be able to play. Oh, we've got Ebony Maw now. Okay, this is a great spot for the Maw. I'm happy to have it here. I can just do something like this to guarantee a win in one location. I'm very happy with that, and I think I will snap. Don't know what I'm up against, so it's a little, you know... It's always slightly risky going for a snap when you don't know what you're up against, but I think if you really want to optimize your climb, you want to be taking favorable snaps like this one. I'm just... have no Ebony Maw downside here, which is really nice. Obviously, this is a play you normally cannot do. Looks like the opponent's got Bast Enchantress. I'm kind of even sad that I moved those away, but you never know. There's always the possibility of Shang-Chi that could kind of ruin your day. I'm going to go Gamora in the left. I think that should be fairly safe here. It's just so nice, right? When you've got a flooded location, the Guardians become a lot more viable, a lot more enabled, I think. Do we want to just play a safe Doctor Doom here? I think so, and then we've got just a million Guardians of the Galaxy at the end. See where the opponent is going, and then base our decision on where to play off of that. This is looking, yeah, looking like a win to me. Of course, the opponent's got Serra and Elysium, so, and even Bast, so, you know, nasty things can certainly happen here. I'm sort of tempted to just jam all of my Guardians in the right. That'll give me so much power if the opponent does decide to play there. And I'm a bit worried about Shang, but if there's a Shang, you know, we just take the L in the left. Let's go for it. Should be pretty good, I think. We've got 17 in the mid. I'm pretty sure we win that location. And the Bast is going to sort of prevent the opponent from having a huge amount of points on the right. They already have that 1 point card. Of course. 24 power. Can you beat that? There is Shang-Chi. As expected. And going to be Luke Cage, Hit Monkey. That's a huge Hit Monkey. Not quite enough though. Hazmat strong, but also not going to be enough for my Guardians. They're coming through with the win. So I hope you guys enjoyed that deck. Managed to win quite a few games with this one somehow. I don't think it's the most... It's like not super competitively tuned, but definitely feeling quite viable, the Guardians of the Galaxy with this new Nebula card. I think it's obviously very powerful. If you are interested in getting to infinite rank but are struggling with that, then you can send me a message on Discord and I might be able to help you with your infinite climb. Discord is in the description below if that interests you. Otherwise, subscribe as always for more content. I'll be trying to be back in the flow of things, getting, you know, regular videos your way I hope you guys will enjoy and stick around. With that being said, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.